Happy Thursday, you guys. Thank you all once again for tuning back in, and let's get right into another recap here. So the Nasdaq, just looking at the charts, obviously had a really nice and clear direction on the day, right? It was very bullish on the day, and it was just an amazing rally for NQ, right? And I really hope a lot of you guys were able to capitalize on the ETF that correlates with it, which is TQQQ, right? That's what me and my brother always trade, and if you'll notice, it looks exactly like NQ, right? Because it follows it exactly. And yeah, it's triple leverage too, so it pushed up nicely on the day. If you'll notice, it was up almost 8% on the day. So it really just offered a lot of margin, and unfortunately for myself today, I really just wasn't able to capitalize on the market. I had a green day, but I really traded horribly today, and I'll let you know why in a sec. But as far as my filled orders go, there was a lot of them, right? 468, and I can show you all of them. If you guys are curious, feel free to pause the video and go through them. But there is a lot, like I always tell you guys, so I'll go ahead and cover what I think is most important. But I only traded TQs and SQs, and I was up $91 on TQs, and I was down $25 on SQs. And our account was up a nice amount, $420 on the day, but a lot of that was not from just me day trading, right? That comes from our other swings. So as far as my day trading goes, that's what I focus on. And today I think I really traded horribly because once again, I started the day off putting myself down in a big hole. I was down like $100 on the day, maybe a little more, just like yesterday. And today I was fortunately obviously able to make it all back and more. But just I really need to do a better job of managing risk. So I'm going to let you guys know where I keep going wrong and what I was able to do to capitalize on it. But right around here was when the market opened up. Let me zoom in a bit for you guys. Right around here was 6:30 in the morning. That's when the market opened up. And you'll notice that right when it opened up, we did get a move downwards, right? The Nasdaq started to sell off a bit. It wanted to keep getting rejected off of this blue EMA line here. But if you will notice, we did end up catching a support here. And a lot of you might be wondering, why did we catch it here, right? It seems pretty random. It seems like it almost came out of nowhere, right? Why did we start uptrending? And that's why I always tell you guys time and again, make sure to look at the other bigger picture time frames to give you a better idea. Because this is a 1 day, 1 minute. It's good to use for day trading, right? Because it gives you kind of the most up-to-date info, but you really need to get a bigger picture of where the market can actually potentially bounce or find a resistance and fall, right? Those levels are really important, we can all agree. And right around here was basically where it was trading yesterday, right? This was yesterday when it started to catch these higher lows and uptrend. And right around here was when the market opened up at 6:30 today. And what you'll notice is that it did start to fall, right? But like I told you guys yesterday, to look out for this higher low pattern that's been forming, that formed yesterday. On the bigger picture, the market started to fall, and a lot of people may have thought that the market was gonna have to continue to keep falling, and they may have basically been too aggressive to have gotten into SQQQ thinking it was gonna fall, only for the market to actually bounce. So if you'll notice, looking at it on the bigger pictures, a play like this you could have seen coming, because you'll notice that anywhere here, the market was still good to make a higher low pattern, right? The low it has here was still higher than the previous ones it has here, and it's almost following this kind of line right here, right? If I were to draw a line with my with where my cursor is right around here, I would draw one, but unfortunately, and you guys can use a tool, but for some reason our Mac just doesn't work great with the mouse. But you can draw, let's say there's a line right here, you guys will be able to envision basically this line here, and anytime the market will come back down to it, it will try to keep forming this higher low pattern, right? It's still uptrending. And anywhere here, even though the market was falling, it definitely could have found a support which you needed to have been on the lookout for, right? To continue this higher low pattern. And if you were on the lookout for that, you would have seen something to start forming with these big green candles, and ultimately it really started to rally. And you'll notice that when it broke this resistance area is really when the market started to absolutely go nuts, and a lot of people viewed that to be confirmation that it really could go. And I just want to share with you guys, why did the market rally so much? if you look at the Nasdaq on the bigger time frames, you'll notice that it really just made sense on why it could go ballistic today. And it's because it keeps forming this higher low pattern, right? Like I just told you. And on top of that, you'll notice that it was breaking any resistance it had. There was nothing kind of holding it back, no other area where it kind of struggled before. So once it broke this area and looked strong, it really wanted to rally. Look at this on the other time frames. It makes sense that why if it broke this level here where it struggled before, it really wanted to go because it's showing signs of growth now. And if you'll notice, it was up, it's hit highs before up 12,792, and that's why I viewed their potential to be a huge push up, because I didn't even expect to push this big, obviously, but just looking at the charts, you'll see that it really could have gone anywhere. It also could have gone up to 12,800 maybe and made new highs. That didn't happen, but there was still a great push. And today is also a great idea to just put into your mind of why it's so bad to always think the market has to basically go one way. Like, let's say the market was going TQQQs, but let's say you were so caught up thinking that the market was overbought and you kept thinking it has to fall, right? For a play for SQQQ, you could have kept trying to predict the bottom here for a play down, only to keep losing money because it kept continuing to go. So the trend is your friend. You just need to look at the charts and really follow that, and don't make yourself think that anything has to happen, right? If the market wanted to rally, it's going to continue to rally, and it's going to show you it wants to. And let's say you wanted to try SU's play here, maybe it wouldn't have been dumb because the market did push up a lot. But if you see you continuously keep getting stopped down, it keeps pushing up, then stop trying to fight it, right? Don't be so one-sided thinking it has to fall, and just go with the flow. And yeah, just it's a lot easier to make money with the market in your favor, right? That's a common saying. Some traders I watch on YouTube have said before, and it's just a good saying I find to be true. So right around here, we're pushing up now that it's pushed up so much. Obviously, we are going to hit other resistance levels right around this level, so be on the lookout for that. It wouldn't be a big shocker if the market did want to pull back a bit after we saw such a big rally, but nothing has to happen, right? It obviously could keep rallying and even break this, but just be on the lookout because it has been a little iffier in that territory. I'm just showing you guys it on the bigger time frames, right? This is the 1 year for the Nasdaq, and yeah, I just wanted to make you guys aware of that, of why we could have seen a big bounce like this, because the market could still have made the higher lows I showed you, and on top of that, why we could have expected a huge play, right? Once the market started to confirm signs and wanted to go, we saw in the bigger time frames that there was really nothing holding it back once it broke here, for it to just absolutely skyrocket, which is what happened. So it was a great move for the market today. And yeah, another thing I want to let you guys be aware of is that even though it was looking that with the bank failures that the interest rates maybe won't be hiked, right? Because of the bank failures and everything like that, don't be so hopeful that everything is going to be so positive now and everything has to recover. My brother and I obviously have been talking about it, and we think this may be a bull trap because the interest rate hikes, I was reading an article about it, and they even though they were halted, right, it's looking like they're not going to raise them anymore. It's definitely not for the reason we would want it to be, for a good reason, right? The reason being because of all these bank failures. That's definitely not a good reason of why interest rate hikes should be paused, right? That's not something we should all be looking at, a good sign for that to happen for that reason. And yeah, just be aware of that. And the market obviously can potentially recover. Nothing has to happen. It doesn't have to sell off, like I said, but just be aware of that fact. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning back in, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow for a happy Friday. Take care.